Hello everyone and welcome back to another review, and this time I'm going to be covering Kingsman, The Secret Service, directed by Matthew Vaughn and starring an all-star cast that includes Colin Firth, Samuel L. Jackson, and Michael Caine. Okay, this is going to be a very brief review. Overall, this is a very enjoyable movie. I like this movie a whole hell of a lot. To me, it's a good love letter / parody of those, of a James Bond spy movie in a way. And it also has like elements of a superhero movie also, but it's not really a superhero movie. Because, you got this, you got the young character played by Taron Egerton, who plays a character known as Eggsy, who's like, who's this street kid, the street kid with potential. And Colin Firth's character named Harry Hart, sees the potential within him because the street kid's father was once in the Kingsman, and so Colin Firth wants to take in Eggsy, train him, and have him join a better cause. And so it plays out like a superhero origin story in a way, but it's fine. But for this movie, it works. It really works a whole hell of a lot because Taron Egerton to me and Colin Firth, they have a really good chemistry with one another. I like that the father-son relationship that plays between the two. I also like the scenes where Eggsy is shown to be a hothead. He comes from an abusive home. His mother's boyfriend is very abusive. He hits him. He hits her. He shouts and yells at them. And it's typical, but I like it. I like it a lot. It really plays in the fact that he could have been a product of his environment, but because of that potential that is seen within him, it's going to make him be useful for something much greater. And you pretty much see that develop throughout the course of the movie. And you see him naturally pick up being a Kingsman too. Like naturally pick up what he needs to pick up, especially when he starts to do the training sequences. There's this one training sequence where everyone is in a room and the room starts to flood up. He tries to go for a door, but it won't budge. But then he notices a two-way mirror, and he just goes boom, boom, boom until it breaks. And I like all that. All that stuff is great. And of course, their trainer is played by Mark Strong, who plays the character of Merlin. And Mark Strong, to me, is a very good actor, and I like him in this movie too. He's very witty. He has a lot of witty. He says a lot of witty. He has a lot of very witty dialogues, and I like the dry delivery he gives with a lot of his jokes too, because it can come across to me as much as that funny. And of course, you got Michael Caine, who is the leader of the Kingsmen, and he puts on a good performance as well. I like Michael Caine. He's hard to hate, but to me, one of the standouts in this movie, I gotta say, is Samuel L. Jackson as the villain known as Valentine. Samuel L. Jackson in this movie is hilarious. I like how he plays this megalomaniacal rich guy with a lisp, and also he's someone who is like disgusted by violence. It's hilarious. Like, if the man sees violence, it just makes him so sick to his stomach. It's great, and he wants to kill a whole lot of people, and he's planning on killing people too, or driving them insane as a way to like deduce the population or some shit like that. So he devises like this phone chip that will drive everyone insane and kill one another. Like one of those classic, over the top, spy movie villain plans. It's great. So, and that's pretty much it. And of course, like all great spy movies, and I like how this movie is very self-aware with it too. Like, it's a very convoluted plot, and the movie knows it's convoluted and is playing with it, and I love it. And I love it for that. It just makes this movie all that more enjoyable, especially with Samuel L. Jackson giving a fun performance. And I like Colin Firth as Harry Hart too. You can clearly tell he's actually enjoying the role that he's playing, and he's playing it serious, and he's relishing in the fact. But you can clearly tell that the material that he has to work with, it's hitting with him, and it comes, and a lot of his, and the chemistry he has with Eggsy, and the scenes that he and Samuel L. Jackson share, they're just fun to watch. It's fun to see all three of these guys work off one another in their separate scenes, and of course when they come together as well. And I also like, Valentine's henchwoman known as Giselle, played by Sophia Boutella. She's a badass. She has like these like knife legs or some things, and in her opening scene, which coincidentally features a cameo by Mark Hamill himself as a kidnapped professor, it pretty much shows her just killing a Kingsman by splitting the man in half and seeing him just like, it was good shit, hilarious. One of the main things I love about this movie is I am a fan of stylized, over-the-top violence in movies that, or calls for it, of course. If the movie you're writing calls for it to be stylized and over-the-top and grand and ridiculous, by all means, go nuts. For a movie like this, it works, and it works to a T. There are several scenes that were great, but to me, there's two of them that really stand out. The first one is the church scene. I am not going to spoil nothing in that scene. Watch it for yourself. It is by far one of the most craziest, most funnest action scenes I've ever seen in a movie. It is something to behold. It is so brutally violent. It's so over the top, but it's so fucking fun to watch, especially since they got Freebird's Leonard Skinner playing in the background while it's happening, which makes it all the more fun. Just watch it. Just watch that church scene. I'm not going to spoil what happens. Just type in right now on Google. Type in Kingsman church scene. Trust me, you're not going to regret it. And then of course there's the end, where they take out this satellite, which is owned by Valentine. And you see like a bunch of people's heads just exploding in like different colors, and you got Pomp and Circumstance playing, and I'm just like, this is hilarious. This is fun. And of course, when like Valentine eventually dies, like Eggsy uses like the henchwoman, because he fights the henchwoman and he kills her. So he uses her he uses her leg as a spear, and he just fucking throws it at Valentine and it kills him. But when he sees his own blood, the man just fucking barfs all over the place before falling out the window, and it's hilarious. So yeah, I can't say a whole lot. This is a very, very fun movie. I'm not gonna go into detail about everything in this movie. I'm just giving a bare bones review, because this movie deserves to be watched from start to finish, because it is that damn good. And I'm gonna give it a solid 9 out of 10. Matthew Vaughn's directing is amazing. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. He knows how to direct action sequences. The man knows how to write scripts, and he knows how to like get the most out of his actors. The performances, again, are top notch. Great. And as I said, the action is stylized and over the top, but is so fun to watch, and how just ridiculous it is. So yes, 9 out of 10. If you haven't seen Kingsman: The Secret Service, watch it. I promise you, you won't regret it. I am AJ Legend. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.